I have James Morris on the phone with me, and James is one of the people that provides a lot of the links for me during the day, so cuts down my work. And James went out yesterday, and he was at a meeting with I believe it was the military of Israel. And I found this conversation pretty interesting, and I'm going to have James give us some of the information that he gave yesterday. So go ahead, James. What is the name of the officer, and what did he say?
The name of the officer is Elliot. He's actually a major in the IDF Reserves and is the Deputy Chief of Staff for Israel's Northern Region Home Front Command. Mm-hmm. And he started off by, telling us a little bit about himself, that had some time growing up in New York before he went back to Israel, and he had made it perfectly clear that Iran cannot, under any circumstance, possess what they call the bomb. He said that Israel won't hesitate to take action. I found something else interesting I want to share too is, believe it or not, on Tehran's, I guess that's his name, list, actually America is actually far more hated by Iran than Israel. In other words, they hate us more. They call us Big Satan,
right?
And they call Israel Little Satan. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's.
And they actually have a day where they call Hate America Day, where they burn American flags and everything else. I didn't. But he basically went on to say that right now that he believes that they believe Iran's just right around the corner from possessing enough to attach some of these nuclear capabilities to ballistic missiles that are probably not too far off from hitting the east coast of America. Right now, he believes they have enough to hit into Europe, but not much further than that. And then it went on, and we talked a little bit more about the fact that Israel's always wanted peace. He talked about the 6-Day War, where they had got the one peninsula down there that they gave back. They gave that back to Egypt in exchange peace.
Mm-hmm. Now, did they say anything about them attacking Iran to stop them?
Actually, they didn't come. He didn't come, I think, for confidentiality reasons. He didn't come straight out and say they were going to, but the way I understood it was action is probably going to be taken. I think it's in the works because one of the questions, and then he took some questions too. And one of the questions was about one of the things that you posted here not too long back about the embassies being closed. And he denounced it, saying that has nothing to do with it. But, I mean, I don't know if I believe that because, in my personal opinion, if you're going to surprise somebody, if you're going to hit somebody, you're not going to tell them you're coming.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So I believe they're going to. I don't know when, but I believe they're going to. I could just tell he didn't want to say because there was a lot of things that he couldn't say for confidentiality reasons, and a lot of things that he did say certain things, but there just wasn't a whole lot leading to believe that they were going to do it like tomorrow. But I believe they're going to do it. It's just a question of when it's going to happen.
All right. Is there anything else of importance that he said?
Basically, opened the floor for questions, and I had an interesting question, and I think this is kind of interesting to pass along to people as well, and that is, I asked, because I know that you put this out there a lot, I asked him, I said, if you guys do hit Iran to stop them from progressing in their nuclear capability of getting a bomb, are you guys worried about then possibly all the other countries that don't like Israel, that they could take action against you when you're hitting Iran? And he goes, yeah, we're aware of that, and it's kind of hard to be fully prepared, but he made several statements that Israel is definitely ready. At any given time, they could call up their reserves, and it does not take them long to be ready to go. He had made that comment, and he also had made a comment, I didn't know this, I don't know, Frank, if you do, but believe it or not, Israel, their weaponry is actually fairly advanced enough to the point where they actually give stuff to the United States. I didn't know that. So
yeah, well, they're the best. The United States, they practice, but there's a difference between practicing in Israel and the United States because Israel's engaged in war all the time. So their practice is live practice. Well, we lost connection with James Morris, but until we get connected again, I just want to show you who he's talking about. Here's a picture of the officer here that James is referring to, and that discussion that he gave, I believe it was last night. So as I wait for James, I just want to say that there is in the background, like I said in my video yesterday at my website, that even though the news hasn't been out there much lately about Israel and Iran, we know that it is a major concern in the background, and sooner or later, and I think it's sooner, Israel is going to have to respond to the threat of a nuclear device being held by the Iranians. Well, I got you on the phone, James, after we got disconnected. I'm still recording. So let's, before we end, I do have the picture of this officer, Elliot, on my site here so the people can see who he is. And in closing, is there anything that you want to say in closing?
The only thing I can say is I just know that I can say this, Mom. I know there was a lot of stuff, that he had spoke, that some of the things that he could say, and versus the stuff that he couldn't say. I mean, I really believe on my heart God placed on it last night, even though he couldn't say if and or what as far as when they may hit Iran. I just personally myself, I believe that God has led me to believe in my spirit that it's going to be soon. I believe that he made it perfectly clear that they are ready to go if any confrontation does happen, and they still believe that America's got their back. They don't call an ally, they actually call the United States of America a friend. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. That's pretty much about all I can put in, because that's pretty much about all the information he really gave. I think a lot of the reasons he didn't say too much more was probably for confidentiality. So
all right,
pretty much about what I could get.
All right, well, good, James. Thanks a lot, and I'll be posting as soon. Thanks for the phone call. God bless.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.